elegant and kind gentlemen within our industry. So please offer a gigantic warm welcome to the most important milliner of our age, the one and only, incomparable, Mr. Stephen Jones OBE. Can I just start by saying that whenever your name is mentioned in sort of high fashion circles, everybody in unison sort of says, I love Stephen. How did Stephen Jones fall head over heels in love with hats?
After the first day, it was a bit of a eureka moment, but I didn't know that I was going to do that at all. I mean, I was doing women's wear at St. Martin's, and hats were almost my hobby, really. It was amazing that so many of those people, like Annie Lennox, like Duran Duran, Visage, all the people at Boy George, I knew them because they were club goers before they were pop stars. So it was right place at right time.
And you would sort of have those friendships with them, and then they would ask you to make hats for them for the various performances, or?
Well, absolutely, and friends made hats. And that's why my hats, even though I've got quite a large hat here, that's why my hats are always smaller, because you can't dance in a big hat. I did go to Ascot as a teenager because my parents were race goers, so I knew that
the concept
of a hat, and that sort of old world as it was then, values of a hat.
When you do a bit of research and you sort of look at all of the amazing sort of global talent that would wear a Stephen Jones hat, he's everybody from Gaga to Rihanna to Mick Jagger to obviously Diana as well. Like, when you have that luxury of reflection and you look back, like, what would you say are the components that you've learned from working with talent?
I mean, it's quite a journey when you're making a hat for a celebrity. If it's for performance, it's not only what they want, it's what the choreographer wants, it's what the lighting designer wants, it's a whole raft of different people. And quite often, the artist's voice is submerged within those people, and I like to get them looking in a mirror, and I'm putting a hat on them, and I'll say, well, what hat do you like?
When you're getting your inspiration, are you sort of driving in the car, or suddenly see something, or you meet somebody, or there's a certain film or a piece of music? Like, how does all that start?
It's everything. It's everything in my life that happens to me, and I put that into a hat. And also film, because film's about telling the story.
So, most memorable fashion runway millinery moment for you?
The standout moments, I think, our dear friend Erin O'Connor coming out dressed as Tutankhamun Nefertiti in the John Galliano for Dior Couture fashion show.
Just in regards to Royal Ascot,
yes.
Our lovely partners here this afternoon, talk to us about how that relationship started, because it's been a long-standing friendship, hasn't it?
Well, for me personally, I probably was about 16 or something like that when I first went to Royal Ascot.
Can we talk about your piece for the Millinery Collective this year, which is rather nicely right next to us here?
And it's called Ascend. It's a very, very light hat.
I love that. My final question, would you say is the most important hat of your career?
The first hat I made for the Princess of Wales was important.
Yeah.
The first hat I had on the cover of a glossy magazine, which was Tatler.
Stephen, thank you so much. It's always a deep, deep pleasure to speak to you. You are an icon. I'm such a fan, and thank you for sharing some of your journey with us here this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming.